If you like, be a PhD holder in neurosurgery. If you like, be a PhD holder in abstract physics. If you like, be a PhD holder in hydrodynamics. If you like, be a PhD holder in aeronautic science. If you are not following Jesus, it means you are walking in darkness. First, he said, so long as I'm in the world, I am. There are no two lights in this world. So long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. Everything apart from Jesus is darkness. I'm telling you because there are many believers that pride themselves so much in what they have studied. You have not introduced them until you add professor of pneumatology. If you don't add that title, they will not speak with you for 6 months because you didn't honor them. They are not well introduced until you say Apostle Dr. ABC. Then they will stand up and act in humility. But call their names without adding those appellations. Apostle and doctor. If you like, call the apostle and don't add the doctor. The guy will look for one way to get to you and tell you, why now? You mean you all this while that we've been together, you don't know me? Come on, why do you do that? I don't like that. He will lose his peace. Even in a service. Somebody comes for service because you didn't introduce him. He will not, if you like, let an angel jump on the altar in that service. He will not interact with that angel. His discernment will shut down because you didn't introduce him. How come? Is it that I'm now too small? You mean you didn't see me? Are you trying to say that thing you must apologize? If you don't apologize for it, and the next time he comes for the meeting, you better write his name on paper and keep it bold. Because if you forget it, he will now say this thing is deliberate. Now I know. All of those rat race, no matter how we do them, Jesus is saying, if you don't know me and follow me, he said you are in darkness. Because I am the light of the world. It didn't say I am a light in the world. If he said I am a light in the world, it would have implied there are many other lights. Physics would have been a light. This electric bulb would have been a light. Anything that you put your pride on would have been a light. But he said, I am the light. It's a definite article. There is no other light in this world apart from me. So there are many people today who don't have an experiential relationship with Jesus. They believe so much in their profession. They believe so much in their connection. I came to announce to you that you are in darkness. And you don't know what darkness can do. It's in the day of trouble that you will see your vulnerability. Because when darkness comes for you, oh man, darkness can lick up everything you stand for in one day. Everything you built all your life, one day, darkness can lick it up. People think darkness is blackout. Darkness is not blackout. The same way light is not illumination like this. This can be going on and the place can be in darkness. Because darkness is not blackout. There are 5 layers of darkness in this world. And different people are walking in those different layers. I will outline them to you so that you will see and know the layer where you are walking in. And then you will know the nature of light you need to embrace. What I'm teaching you tonight is something you will carry. Go and sit down, write those scriptures out and meditate on it. Because if you don't know it, after 40 years, you will weep. Because it is at the end of your life that you take stock. And at that time, you will discover that you have been robbed all your life. And the unfortunate thing is that life is not lived twice. That's why you can't afford to make mistakes. If this life is something you can live twice, you can say, when I try again, I will cover up. There's nothing like try again. It is appointed unto man to die once. Afterwards is judgment. I am the light of the world. If you don't follow me, you will walk in darkness. How many people are walking in darkness today? Helplessly walking in darkness. Some are not even aware. Because the only light they know is blackout. You know, Even God dwells in blackout, in thick darkness. Can I show you some scriptures so that you understand that darkness is not blackout? Let me show you some scripture. Exodus chapter 20 verse 21. It said, and Moses stepped into the deep darkness where God was. This kind of darkness is blackout. That's why I told you the darkness we are dealing with is not light out. It's not blackout. Because even God hides himself inside thick darkness. So when we off these bulbs, that's not what we are talking about. We are talking about something more vicious, something more treacherous than just blackout. In 2 Samuel chapter 22 verse 12, it said the clouds and darkness, they surround God. Clouds and darkness. So blackout is not what we are talking about. Because even in the realm of God, there is so much blackout. He hides himself there. Psalm 97 verse 2. The same scripture reiterated verbatim. If darkness is not blackout, what then is darkness? There are 5 layers of darkness. The first layer of darkness is what we call absence of direction. It is ignorance. That's the darkness that dwells within. Hope you know. There are people today that you talk to about Jesus, they say you are a religious bigot. They are so ignorant and so blinded that they think all there is about life is their brain. Their brain that is not bigger than their fist. They think that is all their life is about. So when you talk, they sit down and analyze with logic. And they call A, call B, call C. And it makes sense to them and they clap hand and they say get out. In fact, when you try to emphasize it, they say this is a fanatic. They now start pitying you. The problem with this kind of people is that the moment they leave this body, they will enter the realm of knowledge. They won't need anybody to teach them. That's when they will just remember. You know, it would have been better people don't have remembrance in eternity. One of the greatest pains you will feel in eternity if you don't know Jesus is the fact that you can remember. You will not remember all the time they spoke to you about Jesus and you say no. You will wish you would have gone back. Like the wise, like the rich fool. When he saw Abraham in Abraham's bosom, he cried for a drop of water. He said there's a gulf between us. It can't happen. He now started begging. I know my brothers were wise like me, but their wisdom is foolishness. Please send somebody there. And Abraham told him the worst answer of his life and death. Abraham said, there are Moses and the prophet on earth. The guy became afraid immediately. I saw Moses and the prophet. I didn't believe them. My brother won't believe. Send somebody from the dead. Nobody is coming from the dead. The message of the dead is for the dead. You meet some people, they carry textbooks like this. And they hold the textbook as if the textbook is God. Those days when we were in the university, engineering students, they are not reading. They have this textbook they call Taraja. Written by some Indian authors. When you are in the class reading, around 1, that's when they come. They are coming to sleep. But they want you to know that this kind of textbook, we read it when weak people leave the class. You don't read it among dull people like those of you studying other courses. So some of them, when they are coming, they hold the Taraja like this with 2 hands. Some will even put the Taraja in leather and they will hold the leather bag. It's one book. The book is like this, as if it's the book of life. And sometimes when they are reading it, they will frown. When you ask them, what if you just say, who are you? They say, I'm engineer. I didn't say, what do you do? I say, who are you? Your answer shows that you are in darkness. I didn't say, what do you do? Who are you? I'm engineer. No, engineer is what you do. Who are you? Because the person has not even searched the blueprint of heaven to find out who he is. When they met John, who are you? He said, I'm the voice of the one crying in the wilderness. You are what God says you are, not what your profession named you. What your profession named you is the assignment and the platform on earth for you to deliver ordination. But when you find people who are in darkness, they pride themselves in things. The moment the faith and the trust of a man is in things, no matter how educated he is, he's in darkness. Ignorance is not the absence of Western education. Ignorance is actually the absence of truth. They don't know truth from the realms of eternity. So they define themselves by things. They define themselves by mundane titles. Is it good to study? I'm a PhD student. I'm not speaking against studying. I did my first degree. I did my master's degree. I'm still doing a PhD. It was COVID that slowed me down. I should have finished by now. So I'm not against knowledge. But I'm telling you, those things that were discovered by mundane men cannot define my essence. I know more than chemistry. I know truth. I know something that even if you take it from earth to heaven, it's still the same. The fact that you know, if you take it into another spectrum, it will change. Because it can be redefined in different contexts. But there's a truth that cannot be redefined. It's the knowledge of the holy. It's the knowledge of the I am that I am. It's the knowledge of the one who himself is light. It doesn't just illuminate light. He is the substance of light. That kind of knowledge, when a man enters into it, he has been delivered from ignorance. And anybody who doesn't have that knowledge is walking and groping in darkness. So the first kind of darkness is darkness within. The first kind of darkness is ignorance of the things that are holy. Some people are Christians, they are still in darkness. Come online today and mention offering. See the way Christians will take dagger and begin to fight you. Because they think offering is a way of church collecting money from people. That's why they give offering when they hear a strong message. But those who know that offering is a way of honoring God, when they give cheerfully and they give with fear and trembling. Because they don't need to be motivated to give. There is something in their heart that wants to honor God. So every time they come before the Lord, they cannot come empty. There are many believers today who are walking in darkness. There are most people here today that their mentors are on Facebook. They will come with Bible and read 4 and 5 verses and confuse them and turn them against pastors, turn them against preachers. They don't know that they are not just turning them against ministers of God. They are trying to make them know that God can no longer be represented by men. And after a while, if God cannot be represented by men anymore, then God will become a fairy tale in the generations to come. They don't understand that these are patterns of the demonic. And so every man of God who is doing well is a thief or is an enemy. And so they turn against preachers, turn against the ordinances of God. They don't know that they are selling off the future of their children. Because their children will come and they will see church as an alien environment. They will see men of God as demonic people. And after a while, only old men will be in church. When you talk to the youth, they won't find need anymore. Because they were mentored into believing that nothing is right in the kingdom. It's a kind of darkness that is dangerous. Men walking in ignorance and they are not even aware. Hey. Yeah. The second kind of darkness is environmental. We call it a state of gloominess, a state of formlessness, a state of voidness, and a state of destruction. In Genesis chapter 1 verse 2, it said the earth was without form. Darkness was upon the face of the deep. So when you see chaos, when you see trouble, when you see a lack of cohesion, a lack of government, and a lack of order, there is darkness. Many don't know. Many times, even in the church, you'll find us fighting ourselves, bringing disorder into the church because of our sentiments and our appetites. And we think we are winning. That's why Jesus said a house divided against itself cannot stand. Because when there is destruction, when there is disorder, when there is voidness, darkness have entered. So you can come to the choir and 3 people have kept malice for 1 year. Why? Because one is the one that is always singing. And then they come to the altar and smile, sing songs that people know. And because those songs in themselves are anointed, they think they are bringing ministry. They are actually pouring darkness on the congregation. And after a while, you will discover that people who come to church will become weaker and weaker. The things that they have overcome before, they don't know why they are going back to fall into those things. The reason is because the people don't have light. They don't know that the distortion, the argument, the malice has divided the house and it has opened a gate for the enemy. The reason why, if you are offended, you don't make peace because you are right. You make peace because of order. Because the battle is beyond who is right and who is wrong. The battle is the devil trying to create an allowance where his own government can find expression. If there is chaos, then the demon can come in. If there is chaos, then the devil can come in. You see 2 pastors fighting, and you see all kinds of perception engineering. One is preaching and using psychology, trying to turn people against themselves. And we think we are doing well. Everybody can turn against the other one, and you can win. But what you didn't know is that you didn't win. You actually robbed the generation of light. Because the day everyone turned against themselves, that day the devil had a foothold. But we don't understand darkness. So every time, because of our sentiment and our appetite, we keep creating chaos amidst ourselves. Even if somebody offended you and he was arrogant about it, why not keep quiet? Jesus said, if you are following a man for a mile and he insists, he said, go another mile. If he takes your shirt, give him your jacket. If he slaps you, turn the other side. But by all means, don't be the one that creates a platform for the devil. Because darkness is chaos. It happens in our families. You see husband and wife fighting. And the reason the wife is fighting with all her might is because she knows that today, when people come to hear, they will know that my husband is wrong. She's fighting because she knows she's right. And when they come to settle, she will be the justified. What you don't know is that after they give you the throne and the crown of being right, and you settle, the devil has already come in. You will now discover that your being right is nothing compared to the atmosphere of peace that exists there. And if that chaos is allowed, after a while, destruction will come. Why don't we have territorial authority? Because there's always disunity. People can't pay the price to ensure that there is peace and order. And the reason is because we don't know that chaos is of the devil. It said a house divided against itself can never stand. Somebody will need to go back home today. Even though your husband is outrightly wrong, you will kneel down and apologize. Because you know that this thing is beyond who is right or who is wrong. Somebody will go back today and you will forget the fact that you are the head of the home. You will go and meet your wife and apologize for the sake of peace, not because you are right or you are wrong. Because that darkness you are creating, by the time you see the outcome, you will weep for many years. Darkness is chaos. Darkness is destruction. It's not just blackout. Number 3, darkness are demonic operations or evil works. Any operation that is demonic, any operation that tries to advance the will of demons, whether it is orchestrated by demons themselves or by men, is called darkness. In Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12, it says, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. So what demons come to do is to marshal their own operations into families, into territories, to ensure that their will find expression. And so when you find anything happening that is not consistent with the nature of God, just know that darkness is at work. Don't be part of it. It's either you advocate and intercede for those things to be halted, or you remove your hand. Don't be part of anything that is an orchestration of the demonic. It's called darkness. In Psalm 91 verse 5 and 6, it gave us some activity of the demonic. It says, you shall not be afraid of the terror by night. What's happening in the nation of Ukraine today is darkness at work. It's not just kings trying to fight for territories. They are orchestration of demons. It happened before in Babylon. We have seen it before. It's not starting today. It's darkness at work. It's not about who is right or who is wrong. It's an operation of the devil. Sometimes they are orchestrated by demons, and sometimes they are orchestrated by men. I'm saying this so that you can begin to review your life, review your environment. There are many times you didn't know you participated in the activity of darkness because it affected your ego. Somebody said something, you said, me? Is it me you spoke to? And then you went and fought for 3 months. People had to kneel down to beg you to satisfy your ego before you calm down. For those 3 months, you were an agent of darkness. You may be speaking in tongues, very loud. You can even stand up around 12 midnight and say you are warring. You are actually an agent of darkness for those 3 months. Those 3 months that you fought to defend your ego. Those 3 months that you fought to defend your appetite. Even though it was creating an atmosphere for demons and you didn't care, you became an agent of the devil. And you are not better than the reckless beast that is raging war against the nation of Ukraine. You may hear this and you think you know it. Jesus said in John 3:19, he said, this is the condemnation of the world. He said, light has come into the world, but the people love darkness. Somebody may still live here today, and even while he's stepping out of the meeting, they offend him. He can't hold his peace. The Holy Ghost say, keep quiet, keep quiet. He said, God, I will apologize later. This matter now, if I don't tell him, he will not know. Do you think it's about knowing? Who told you the person doesn't know? A demon is pushing past somebody. Instead of you to hold your peace, you think it's how come you have told 10 people and they've never known? You have called witnesses and the people are still not known. It's not about mental knowledge. It's an orchestration of the devil. Too many men are in darkness, and too many men are agents of darkness. They come to you and gossip somebody. You don't even know the foundation. You don't know the truth. The next thing, you start propagating it. And you are picking offense with everybody, and you don't even know what happened. That's why we gather in our number. But when you truly begin to censor our heart, we are agents of different spirits. We make decrees, they don't come to pass. Because you will be shocked that in that same place where people are holding hands and praying, some people are keeping malice with themselves. And they say, wherever 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I'm there in the midst of them. How come 100 of you have gathered, nothing is happening? The church in Nigeria today, 2 million people can gather and pray for one thing, it will not be answered. 2 million people, whereas the Bible says 2 or 3. Our own 2 million does not have the stature of 2 or 3. Because when you check that 2 million, 1 million are keeping malice. 1 million are fighting somebody. 1 million have backbeating somebody. They have robbed it. In fact, our ear loves gossip. They can be preaching the gospel, you are sleeping. But the moment they say, did you hear what Anita said? Your body begins to eat you. Hey, what did she say? What? No, I don't want to talk. You will buy the person clothes and buy the person a gift because you want to hear what Anita said. And if that person doesn't tell you, you can't sleep. You will make 1,000 calls to hear what Anita said. And there is chaos everywhere. Chaos. And so men prophesy, nothing happened. They pray, nothing happened. The third layer of darkness. If I were you, I'll be checking my heart. Fourth layer of darkness are devils themselves. Agents of the devil. Not just their activity. Demons themselves. And wicked and unreasonable men. They are darkness. Darkness is not just an activity. They are also beings. There are some beings that are expressions of darkness. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 5, it says, ye are children of light. Because light is a person. Darkness is also a person. It says, ye are children of light. That's why Jesus said, I am the light. And if Jesus is light, demonic beings are darkness. And the children of the day, it says, we are not of night. Darkness is a substance, it's a personality. So it says you are not of that personality. In 1 John chapter 2 verse 11, it said darkness have blinded the eyes of those that do wickedly. And in 2 Corinthians 4:3, it makes us understand that that darkness is a person. It says if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, whom the prince of this world, the God of this world, have blinded. So darkness migrates from ignorance. It steps into gloominess, darkness, destructions. It steps into